Some battles are loud, fists raised, voices echoing through locker rooms and boardrooms. But the real ones, the ones that decide who you become, those happen in silence, between two versions of you. There's the version that wants to move, the one that wants to see the goals, feel the fire, and knows the mission. And then there's the version that whispers, not yet, maybe tomorrow. Let's play it safe. One pushes, the other protects. And most days, the protective one wins because safety is comfortable and comfort feels like control. But here's the truth no one says out loud. It's not the world that's in your way. It's not your boss, not the past. It's not even the timing. It's you. You holding back yourself, back in the name of logic, waiting for the right moment that never comes. And every time you shrink when you should have spoken, or every time you delay what you already know needs to happen, and every time you silence the version of you that's built for more, that's you fighting you. And that battle never ends until one of you wins. So today, we're not talking about motivation. We're not talking about hype. We're going straight into the arena, the one inside your head. Because when it's you against you, the outcome determines everything else. This time, we're not playing for comfort. We're playing for clarity. We're playing for change. We're playing for you. So take a deep breath, square up, because it's time to find out who's really in control. Challenge accepted? Good. Are you ready? I am. I'm Jonah. I'm your person. Let's get to it. Welcome back to the show. I'm so glad you joined. Now, lock in, dial in, and enjoy. Part 1. Let's name your opponent. Before you can win a fight, you've got to know who or what you're up against. And in this case, it's not your boss. It's not your family. It's not the system. It's the version of you that's learned how to keep you safe. Because comfort isn't a clever fighter. It doesn't scream or shove or stop you outright. It negotiates. It reasons. It hides inside your thoughts, sounding helpful, while it's quietly holding you hostage. You know that voice. The one that says, take a break, you've earned it. When momentum's finally building. The one that says, don't speak up, it's not your place. When your gut's begging you to lead. That's your opponent. Not cruel and not evil, just addicted to safety. Most people never name that version of themselves, so they can't see when it's winning. They think they're just tired or uninspired or maybe even unlucky. But the truth is, they're in a 12-round match they don't even realize they signed up for. So here's your first move in this fight. Name the opponent. Is it the doubter, the one who questions your every decision? Is it the excuser, who always finds a reason to wait? Or the protector, the one that convinces you to stay small so you don't get hurt? Go ahead and pick one and then write it down. Don't skip this step because when you name the opponent, you stop the shadow boxing. You start targeting. And that's where progress begins. Every time you feel resistance rise up, you'll know who's in the ring. You'll feel the hesitation and say, oh, I see you, but I've got work to do. And that awareness alone, that's the first real punch that you'll ever land. So let's recap part 1. You can't win a fight you can't name. And your opponent isn't the world. It's the version of you that mastered the art of safety. Call it what it is. Doubter, excuser, protector, whatever fits. And once you give it a name, it loses its camouflage. And for the first time, you're not fighting in the dark. All right, let's talk about catching the sabotage in real time. Now that you've named your opponent, the fight moves from theory to practice. It's one thing to know who's holding you back, and it's another to catch it in the act as it sneaks in, whispering, nudging, and sabotaging. Resistance doesn't always arrive with a roar. Most of the time, it's subtle. It's the tiny hesitation before you click send. It's the pulse before you speak up in a meeting, when your instincts are screaming, "This matters." It's the "I'll start tomorrow" that repeats so often it feels normal. But here's the truth. Those micro moments are where the fight is actually won or lost. Because every time you let hesitation win, you reinforce the old pattern. You teach your own mind that comfort trumps growth yet again. So here's what you do. Catch it in real time. Notice the pause, name the whisper, and then say it out loud if you have to. No, not this time. Start arguing with it. Don't justify, just interrupt it. Because awareness alone is power. And once you can see the sabotage when it shows up, it loses half its strength. Start by observing your patterns for 3 days straight. And then notice where hesitation lives. In your inbox, in conversations, in workouts, in tasks that you've just been putting off. Write them down. Track them. And then call them out. Look, you're building a record. Evidence where you've been outmaneuvered by your own mind. And then, when the next opportunity comes, you'll recognize that exact moment your old self shows up. And instead of following it, you act anyway. You step forward whilst the hesitation flinches you back. That's the essence of getting out of your own way. Not ignoring, but outsmarting it. Not waiting for courage to arrive, but showing up first. And not hoping that moment passes, but moving through it. Because catching the sabotage is the moment you finally realize you're not powerless. You're just fighting yourself. And now you can win. And here's your first challenge. It's an observation exercise, just so you know. For the next 3 days, write down every moment you hesitate before taking an action. Notice what your mind whispers to slow you down. Identify the pattern. Like I said, is it a doubter, an excuser, a protector? Then pick one micro action each day. Small, doable, and forward moving. So do it and do it anyway. Even tiny wins shift momentum. And this is the first step towards catching the sabotage before it wins. Let's now talk about the resistance will rebrand itself. Just when you start catching your old patterns, resistance doesn't surrender. It doesn't wave a white flag. It adapts. It puts on a new suit, a fresh voice. It calls itself logic or reason, strategy. And suddenly, hesitation feels smart. Comfort feels justified. And you'll hear it say things like, maybe this isn't the right time. Or, you're too tired to do it well. Wait until conditions are perfect. And it'll sound convincing, sophisticated even. But here's the truth. It's still the same opponent you named it before. Just a new disguise or a new tactic. Resistance doesn't die. It evolves. That's why winning this fight isn't about eliminating hesitation. It's about recognizing it, no matter what form it takes. The move is simple. but it takes discipline. Pause, check, decide forward. Let's break that down. Pause. Notice the hesitation. Don't ignore it. Check. Ask yourself, is this logic or is this resistance in a new suit? Decide forward. Even if the hesitation feels reasonable, act anyway. Take one small step and then move through it. And every time you do this, you weaken the disguise. You show your inner opponent that adapting won't give it control anymore. You reclaim the ring, even if it's just for one micro moment at a time. And here's the secret. Your opponent will try again. It will morph into another excuse tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. But every time you catch it, and every time you act anyway, you reinforce a new default. You move forward, resistance or no resistance. That's the rhythm of getting out of your own way. It's not a single knockout punch. It's consistent recognition paired with deliberate action. It's spotting the disguise, refusing to follow it, and showing up anyway. Because the moment you start seeing resistance clearly, even when it's dressed as reason, you stop being a hostage to your old self. And for the first time, you fight with eyes wide open. Let's talk about the mirror moment. Here's where it hits you. The fight you've been training for, noticing hesitation, catching sabotage, spotting disguises. The opponent you've been trying to outsmart looks a lot like you. It's uncomfortable, unfair, honest. And that's exactly why it works. No more blaming circumstance. No more pointing fingers at others. And the emails, the delays, the missed opportunities, they all land at your feet because the mirror doesn't lie. And the reflection staring back, it's the one that's been holding you hostage. This is the hardest part because it strips away every excuse. No one else can fight for you. No one else can push the old you aside. And the only person who can step into the fight and the light and take control is you. But here's the thing. Recognizing the mirror doesn't mean surrendering, and it doesn't mean guilt or shame. It means clarity. Because once you see it, you finally start to understand why progress stalled, and why goals slipped, why your own potential was capped. And clarity leads to choice. Ask yourself, am I willing to step up even when the resistance looks like me? Not wishes, not hope, not dreams. Willingness. That's the key. The moment you choose to fight forward, despite the reflection staring back at you, that's when the scales tip. Here's the move. Look squarely at the hesitation, the excuses, the safe version of you. Acknowledge it without fear. Step into action anyway, one micro step at a time. This is the turning point, friends. You stop arguing with yourself, and you stop hiding behind rationalizations, and you start winning from the inside out. Because the mirror moment isn't about destruction. It's about ownership. It's about realizing the fight was never against the world. It was always for the best version of you. If you like the show, please like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode. All right, here's where we get productive. And this one's called Breaking the Pattern Loop. Seeing yourself clearly in the mirror was a breakthrough. But awareness alone, it doesn't move the needle. Your old habits, they're a loop. Every time you hesitate, make an excuse, or wait, the same patterns repeat. To get out of your own way, you have to break the loop. And here's how to do it. Get a piece of paper or type in your phone. Step 1, pause. When you notice hesitation, stop immediately. Don't react automatically. This gives you a chance to recognize a pattern before it takes control. Number 2, breathe. Take a moment to calm your body and mind. Resistance thrives when you're on autopilot. A few deep breaths resets your focus. Let's do it again. Step 3, choose forward. Let me say that again. Choose forward. Pick one small, specific action you can take right now to move toward your goal. Not tomorrow, not later, now. Send that overdue email. Speak up at a meeting you've been avoiding. Start the workout or task you've been putting off. Look, consistency is everything, and every micro step builds momentum. I'm going to pause there for a second. Micro step is like a baby step, and all steps forward should be celebrated. Not waiting till the end of the race to celebrate, celebrating along the way. That is super important and key to this process. And every time you act despite hesitation, you train your brain to follow through rather than freeze or delay. Your old patterns will try to come back. They always do. But now you have a system. Pause, breathe, act. Repeating it strengthens your new default. Move forward first, doubt second. Remember, breaking the pattern isn't about perfection. There's no such thing. Perfection is an absolute lie and an absolute myth. It's about action. Small wins over time compound into real progress. And each completed task, each moment you act instead of waiting, is proof you can get out of your own way. And that's what I've been trying to get you to think about. This is the core of internal victory. Interrupt the loop. Take deliberate steps and reinforce momentum. That's how you stop being stuck and start consistently moving forward to the results you want. All right, let's talk about building evidence and not excuses. This part of the episode is my absolute favorite. Breaking the loop isn't the finish line. It's the start of proving that you can stay out of it. If you want real change, you have to trade talk for proof, emotion for evidence. And here's why. Motivation is unstable. One good day and you're on top of the world. One bad meeting, one missed workout, and you crash. But evidence doesn't care about your mood. It's factual, it's permanent, and unarguable. It reminds you of who you are when confidence wobbles. So here's how to build it. Number 1, start a visible scoreboard. Write down what you complete every day, the small wins, the hard conversations, the disciplined choices. Look, seeing progress in ink trains your brain to value completion over perfection. Number 2, set a minimum standard. Not a dream outcome, a standard. Something you'll do no matter what and no matter how you feel. 10 pages a day, 1 outreach call, 20 minutes in the gym. Keep it simple, keep it daily. Number 3, review weekly. Once a week, look back. Count your completions, not your messes. Misses, not messes. Progress hides in the details. And reviewing your record gives you proof that you're moving forward, even when life feels flat. Number 4, turn losses into learning. Missed the mark? Fine. Document why, not why not. And then extract the data and move on. That's evidence too. And evidence that you're paying attention and adjusting means a lot. And the more you track, the louder the facts get. Excuses lose their weight because numbers don't lie. You can't claim you're inconsistent when your record shows 30 consecutive follow thoughts, right? This is what separates people who talk about change from people who create it. The talkers chase feelings, the doers collect proof. So build it, review it, and then own it. And every time you do, you're no longer waiting for motivation. You're working from measurable truth. And that's how confidence becomes a system instead of a mood. That's how progress turns permanent. All right, here's part 7. But I want to pause for just a second because what I titled this particular part of the episode is Make Peace with the Fight. But it's not that simple. Because resentment can set in. Resentment from or of oneself. And that's a very unhealthy place to be. So I'd really like for you to focus on what I'm going to share with you here in just a moment. At some point, you realize you're not fighting an enemy anymore. You're imagining one. The hesitation, the fear, the old habits. They don't just vanish. They quiet down when they know who's in charge. This is what peace looks like in real life. Not stillness, but control. You can feel resistance and still take the next step. And you can doubt and still deliver. You can get tired and still finish. That's growth. And the key is reframing the fight. Instead of seeing it as somebody or something you need to end, start seeing it as something you need to understand. Your resistance has patterns. Learn them. Your motivation has triggers. Identify them. Your focus has limits. Respect them. And once you know these things, you stop burning energy on frustration. You start leading yourself with strategy. So here's the shift. You stop trying to win every day, and you start trying to manage the gap between who you were this morning and who you want to be tonight. Some days you close the gap by an inch, some days by a mile, but you always close it. And when you accept that the fight is part of the process, it stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like progress. You stop asking yourself, when will this get easier? And you start saying, I'm getting stronger. Make peace with the fact that resistance will always show up. Meetings, relationships, training sessions, and even tough choices. It's not a sign that you're broken. It's a sign that you're still in motion. So when the old voice whispers again, when doubt, fatigue, or fear tries to pull you back, smile. You know the playbook now. You've studied the patterns. You've built the proof. And you've learned that peace isn't freedom from the fight. It's confidence in your ability to keep showing up for it. That's mastery. That's what you against you was always building toward. As we close the show, I want you to focus in on this final truth. There's only one opponent who knows every weakness you have. And that opponent, it looks exactly like you. But there's only one person who can outsmart, outwork, and outgrow that opponent. Also you. Every micro step, every moment you act when your old self hesitates, every small win, that's how you build undeniable proof. That's how you stop being stuck. And that's how you win the fight inside your own head. It's not magic. It's consistency, awareness, action. It's showing up for yourself every single day. So the next time hesitation rises, the next time excuses whisper, and the next time you feel yourself holding back, remember who you're really fighting for. It's not anyone else. It's the version of you that cannot wait to move forward. You don't need to destroy the old self. You just need to stop letting it drive. It's you against you. And today, you know the truth. You have what it takes to win. Challenge accepted? Good. That's what's up. Thanks for continuing on this journey with me. Thanks for hanging out, and have a great week.